time to guess that script. So let's see. May 1st is the Illuminati's birthday, 1776. 1776. 243 years? Yeah. 243 years is the Illuminati's birthday. And so you got two things happen on May 1st in the history of time. Adolf Hitler was announced, well, he was announced dead. But again, they didn't find him, right? Kind of like in the Bible, where it's like he was, you know, like how the king wasn't to be found, stumbled and fell and wasn't to be found. But that's not what it means. So he was, so he like disappeared, right? Supposedly he shot himself, and or what else happened? I don't know, whatever. Anyway, the point is May 1st is when he was announced. The script was that he's dead, all right? And then he went off to become Walt Disney. And then, so that's May 1st. And it involves a leader, you know, like he was a leader, or a president, or whatever you want to call him, a king, I don't know, whatever they call him. Then Osama, Barack Hussein, Obama bin Laden, he was, yeah, he was announced dead. He was kicked into the sea, and the fish ate him on May 1st, United States time, May 2nd, 1 o'clock in the morning, over where he was, you know, whatever. Just telling you what the script is. I'm not saying anything other than it's just a script. Now, keep in mind that it's 8 years since that happened, and then keep in mind that the script for Obama being the 8th beast and of the 7, I'm just, again, it's just a script. It's one of the scripts that they're going by. So when you take that, the 7th and of the 8th, and then you look at how Donald Trump is being, you know, he's being attacked. He's going to, I mean, is he going to go to jail? Look, there's 3 things here. There's 3 different, well, technically 4, but you got to narrow it down. Impeached, okay? Impeached. Locked up, which is kind of like the same, being impeached. Assassinated, like JFK. You know, that script too. And, or raptured. You know, I want to say raptured. I want to say raptured. But that's 14 days later. Man. What if, I'm trying to think, how would Rob Reiner write this script out? How would Meathead write out this script? How would I write the script out? All right, let me see. How would I do it? Because I would do it in a way where you're just not gonna. Obviously, nobody's going to know. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to think that for a second. Like the sun rising from the west. Look, it's just going to happen. All right? It's going to come from California. Once the sun rises into California, it goes this way. What follows next is like the major earthquake that finally sinks it into the sea or whatever. So I would say come May 1st, because it's the Illuminati's birthday, because we're getting really close to God's people being redeemed, every one of them, and then showing the elite that, you know, who's the boss, you know what I mean? God is the boss, and you've been ignoring him. And, you know, I'm just a spokesperson for him. I really am. Like, in other words, if you're a leader, if you're a king, if you're an underground king, if you know, you don't want to take credit to the people that know, but you want the credit for the people that do know you. It's like you want the praise from the people that do know you, but you don't want the praise from people that do know you too, and they're not supposed to. So it's like, you know, I'm just here to say, hey, God has a message that He's telling me to give you, and if you don't want to listen to it, you know, it's on you. But would you rather? I mean, it's like, if you were a king, anybody that's a reasonable mind, if you were a king or a leader or something, and somebody had a message that, you know, it was a pretty credible message, because it was a message from God, and that person that has that message has a background of kind of getting things right with certain predictions. Some are hot, some are cold, but summer's almost here. And so when that person comes to you, wouldn't you rather that person tell you the truth and say, hey, God is he's a little pissed off at you, and if you don't repent, He's going to take your kingdom from you, and He's going to give it to the others. If you do repent, your kingdom will be assured to you. Or would you rather me come to you with soothsaying words? You know what I mean, Steve? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got all these people that kiss your ass, and maybe you're just not used to somebody not kissing your ass. You know what I mean? I think that's the part that, I know you want to rip my head off. I mean, I know you feel that way, but at the same time, you just want to give me a big hug, don't you? Because who else is out there that just doesn't bow down to you and doesn't kiss your ass? I mean, doesn't it get annoying after a while? Like people, thou art king live forever, Steve, I love you, man. Hey, I mean, I don't know. I don't like people kissing my ass. I don't like people clinging to me with frickin' flatteries either. I can't stand it. And I would rather you just be truthful. If you hate me, you hate me. Say it. And then when you say it, you know, I'm gonna block you and get the hell out of my channel, because what's the point of you watching my videos anymore? That's how I get, you know, separate the wheat from the tares. Just, all right, I don't like people clinging to me with flattery. So I've tested some people over time, and I've gotten them to finally release from the clings, and then finally tell me exactly how they feel. You know what I mean, Double O? So when that happens, right, and you're in charge, put it this way, when I'm in charge, if I'm going astray and there's a godly person that I trust that has a track record of the kind of like knowing what God's saying, if He has a message for me, I'm going astray, I'm going to listen. I'm going to be like, hey man, no, look, I really appreciate that there, brother. All right, really do. Now back to Trump, right, and the script that I would write. I would put, let's see, you got to go by how the world is going right now. Go by how Steve is the underground king, Trump is the above ground king. And for some reason, it's been like this throughout the entire history of existence. Like, in the first year of the reign of King Darius, is the same in the 3rd year of the reign of King Cyrus, because Daniel prospered in the reign of King Cyrus and King Darius. And then it's like there's always like two kings for some reason. I don't know. I guess one of them is like the puppet, and the other one's the puppeteer. And so we can all see who the puppeteer is. You've already known who the puppet was and is not. And I'm just trying to help people understand who is behind the strings, pulling the strings. And so it's the same thing where, all right, think about it. Steve is saying he's going to sue people. First, he's this poor suffering servant, doesn't have any money. Now he has plenty of money, plenty of time, and he's in the mood to sue people. I don't know. I mean, who knew? You know what I mean? Like, who knew he had that much time to sue 144,000 people? It's crazy how it's like the exact number. So if you get papers in the mail, you go to court. If you see Steve, whatever, you know you're the 144,000. You know that you're one of them. Not that I mean, look, if you're at this point now, if you don't know, then you're not. If you don't know by now, and we're at this point, and there's like 3 months left until the power exchange, if you don't know by now, you just don't know. I mean, that's the way I look at it. So suing people, but then Trump is representing us, but so is Steve, okay? Steve is pretending to be one of us when he's not. Trump is pretending to be one of us, pretending to be a truther, calling things fake news. He's calling us fake news, by the way, in case if anybody didn't know. He's calling... Go ahead, man. It's a green light. You're holding people up. No, I'm trying to help those people out. See that? She just ruined the whole line there. Well, the one car. I'm considerate. Look, you know, hey, I don't like sitting there waiting when it's unnecessary. People aren't paying attention. He's representing us, getting sued, and so I'm trying to go into great detail here. He's going in the 9th Circuit. I'm gonna be sued, and I'm gonna get a bad ruling, and then I'm gonna go again, and they're gonna get another bad ruling, and then I'm gonna go, and then we're gonna get a good ruling, and then we're gonna get sued. And just prepared to get sued, okay? I'm prepared to get sued, but I shouldn't get sued, but I'm preparing to. So he's preparing to get sued. I'm preparing to get sued. You guys should get prepared to get sued. If anybody has told the truth on YouTube, prepare to get sued. All right. So let's see. My flight is going to be on the Sabbath, right when winter ends. I mean, yeah, when winter ends. I'm going to be taking off in the handcuffs, taking off in the caravan. You know, daily sacrifice taken away. YouTube will, you know, once the truth is shut down. At one time I thought, all right, well look, we're gonna have 3 days and a half. Once the truth is silenced, once YouTube is shut down, we got 3.5 days to go. Well, I start to understand a little bit more too as knowledge increases that there's specific days that they just go, like those 21 days of Michael Stanley, and what the 30-day decree, and then the 10 days of tribulation, but yet it's also 10 days of Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, Daniel being basically it was like a test to look at the continents of their face when we see the sun rising from the... I mean, come on, look. How can you not laugh your ass off when you see it? When you see that they're going to do that and rise it, and then the reason they're going to do it is because, well, God said He was going to do it. So they're going to do it first, everything's 7 days. It's 7 days, and that's another 7 days. So when they do their thing, it's going to go over there, and it's going to come back and be like, you know what I mean? And then just know that from that point on, just get ready to you know, live in heaven, as heaven comes down on earth, because God doesn't have another place that we need to go besides here on earth to rule. He's going to change their hearts. He's going to put his law on their hearts, so they're all going to know. And again, it's his plan for Satan to deceive as many people that won't listen, and then that fear that falls upon. Look, can you imagine? I mean, come on. The people that don't know, kids, everything, like, they're going to be like, huh, Daddy, what the fuck is that? And then, you know, if they understand the sun isn't supposed to go that way, the fear, people are going to be like, oh my God, God said something. I mean, I don't know. Maybe people don't know. I mean, I didn't even know. I didn't know that God was that he said that the sun's gonna rise up from the west and all the fear is gonna fall upon people. You know, I kind of see that happening, but they have already covered up the sky. One reason they could have covered up the sky is because, well, mainly so we don't see that. Because if we see that, then we'll know. But then they're trying to do that ahead of time to kind of get people to be discouraged when you know, we're still here and nobody floats up in the air and it's like, oh crap, we're still getting killed. Then they want people to have at least 7 more days to think about killing themselves. Anyway, I would say if I wrote the script, I would say on May 1st, because I have to go with, you know, 3 is God's purpose. So you got the first clown, you got the second clown, and you got the third clown. And so I don't think he's gonna get assassinated. And then watch, he will. I don't think it's assassination, because the way they're, well, you know, JFK, same thing. You know, he didn't really get killed. It's just a script. They blew, poof, Hollywood just, poof. But that's just me and my conspiracies. You know what I mean? You know, I'm really leaning towards this. I would have, let me just tell you what I would do. Fine. Let me stop trying to think of what everybody else is doing there. And try to take a piece of that, piece of this, and put it all together and make, you know, what it is. I would say, knowing the timeline, knowing that the 7th and of the 8th year of the beast, the first beast that was slain, that had a wounded head, did live, Osama to Obama, and then, but on May 1st, Trump, because they're all saying that he's going to get impeached, that they're really trying to come after him, because they're all saying that, I would write the script where there's an angry guy, you know, just a regular dude, that is pissed at him. They'll probably blame it on me. I mean, wait a minute. I didn't even think of that one. Shit, I probably shouldn't have said that. I don't know if I'm uploading this video. No, but that's, you know, hey, you probably are going to blame it on someone like me. You know what I mean? Like he did it. But anyway, he'll probably be, I wonder where he's going to be at on May 1st. That's what I want to know. I want to know, where is Trump going to be at on May 1st? Somebody's going to shoot him, right? Poof, pop his head off, whatever. We'll probably see it on TV. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, man, would that... but then again, 40 days. He might ascend up to heaven in 40 days. If you subtract 40 days from that, from May 14th, where does that lead you? May 14th, 40 days. I'm not sure. Is that April 7th? I don't know. No, it's kind of close. Anyway, what I'm saying is this. Man, 40 days, because you know how Christ, after he got crucified for 3 days, darkness, and then 40 days, he stayed for 40 days and then ascended up to heaven. I see Trump getting shot, you know, like right on TV, because they already did that with the one person, I don't forget, some other country. They did that script already. So if he gets shot on TV, and then and it's like he died, but then they take him to hospital, and maybe he's pronounced dead, and then maybe 3 days later it's like, Donald Trump woke up, or something like that. Maybe it's something close to that. And then once he wakes up, even though he's out of office, he's out of office because he's shot. Well, he's injured, I guess. I don't know. Or at the same time, they were impeaching him anyway. He's probably gonna get impeached and shot on the same day. How's that? That's my script. Donald Trump gets impeached and shot on the same day, and then 3 days later, like he dies. He dies. He literally dies for 3 days. He's like in the morgue and everything, and then all of a sudden he like wakes up like, this is great. And then he wakes up, and then take notes, Rob. All right, Reiner. He wakes up, and then he's like, but he's already impeached. He's already out. Once he comes out, you know, Obama takes his place. I don't know why Obama would take his place. You would think that Pence would. But then if he's impeached, that means that Pence is impeached too, right? Because he's part of it. It's Trump-Pence. So Trump is impeached. I mean, what? Trump is impeached and shot and killed and rose again. And then for the next 40 days, he's out there like... So maybe he won't get shot on May 1st. Maybe it... What is it? April is 30 days, right? So 27 days... And then 14, 37, 41. 41. Well, that's interesting, because that's right around the 40-day period. I mean, it's 41 days. I don't know. We'll see. But I think May 1st is... I just think because it's 3 has to happen. It's the Illuminati's birthday. Something very special has to happen on the day. Well, I don't have to go with the 40-day period. He could just get shot, impeached, shot, same day, and then he comes back to life a few days later, 3 days later, or maybe even 3 hours later, like Steve, like that script. See what I'm saying? Like the way Steve did it, Trump is going to be the same. Okay? Going to be the same. Trump will, by May, be out of office. Okay? Guaranteed. Mark my words. That script has been written. It has been written for sure. And then, because Obama's taking over, he's like ruling as the Antichrist. Even though, you know, it's still Steve and Trump. Even though Trump is like, it should be Steve Trump. Trump, James Trump, Deshaun, this Trump. It should be this Trump. They should both be in together. But the reality is, see, here's how it's all twisted. When Obama comes in and takes office, because Trump isn't here anymore, because Trump won't be in charge of the presidency, Obama will come in and take over. But then once Obama comes in, actually it's only for 3 days, because a few days later and he's destroyed, neither in anger nor in battle. But that's really Steve's role, because Steve is the one in charge. He's the one pulling the strings. He's the one that gives Trump the script to read. He's the one that has it all written out, man. I mean, that's why he has all that time and money, because he's a script writer. I could be a script writer too. I mean, I come up with some pretty radical ideas, you know, pretty neurotic ideas that nobody else does. Don't you agree? I mean, I say some things that are really off the wall, right? But I would make the damn sun. I mean, for real, I would be like, look, make that simulator go back that way, and then pretend that it's God, because you know, I'm going to act like I'm God. So that's kind of where I'm at here, where Trump is definitely going to be taken out. He's going to be taken out. But that rapture is definitely going to happen too. It's the 70th full year. After 70 years, within 1 year, they will be destroyed. And but I'm just trying to think, when will that sun start? I think that's the beginning of it, right? I mean, once the sun goes that direction, you know, it's kind of look, it's going to happen within those 7 days, one way or another. The 7-day period where, you know, God talks about that the sun is as the light of the moon, and the moon as the light of the sun, and the moon for 7 days, right, travels around, because the moon light is actually the sun light, I think. Not sure, just a guess, just a possibility, you know what I mean? It's possible that might be the case there. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Trump will, people will, because they're doubting him, and him and Steve are the same two peas in a pod, or the pot, or whatever. And because the same thing's gonna happen to Steve, where to you guys, to the ones that know him, to his colleagues and everything, he's gonna play that out. He's gonna play some kind of role out where towards the end here of their timeline, which ironically, I mean, ironically, it comes, my timeline comes from the 7th and of the 8th year of being warned about God's judgment, May 21st, 2011. Going into the 7th year into perdition for the next 10 days. That's the real scriptures. And the first 21 days before that, well, it's May 1st. Who is like God will stand up. Who is like God will stand up? Michael. Not just one Michael. Many Michaels. Whoever's like God is going to stand up. So the real scriptures, from the time that the ark rested on Mount Ararat, which was the beginning of the year, and then 150 days, which is at the end of May 31st. That timing between there, that's the real deal, okay? And so they're playing this all out first. They have to play it out first. That's the best part, is knowing that they're playing it out first. And yeah, I've gotten some predictions, hot, cold. But look, knowledge keeps increasing. It's the way it's supposed to be. God is, he wishes that I was hot or cold. You know what I mean? Not lukewarm. So I have no problem being called a false prophet. None. Because I know better. And, I mean, I can testify to that right there. Because I know, you know, I can testify to that. Right? So yeah, Trump is going to be assassinated somehow, attempted murdered. He's going to be, yes, he has to be, his life has to be endangered somehow by some crazed lunatic psycho. Because that's the reason why he has to be raised up again. And he has to be raised up again. And then he has to be given that Messiah title, where I mean, the people that think he's the Messiah now, they're really going to believe it then. It's a damn shame, but they're really going to believe that he's actually Jesus Christ, because he's like taking that role where he was wounded, but then he did live. Even though that's like the beast system, the money, even though they're also playing that out with Obama and Osama, you see how many ways that it's like the pet goat 2 thing? Their meaning, they have like 3 different meanings also, maybe 4. Kind of like the same way the way God writes the Bible, because they claim that they wrote the Bible. Well, whatever, you can say you did, and then I just know that God is right here, right now, and come May, man, it is on. So he has to play out exactly the way that Christ is, the way that he did. And I'm kind of leaning towards that 40-day period also, and then ascending up into heaven with the rapture with everybody else, right? Right? So let's see. Let's look at April 7th now. Let's look at April 7th and let's look at May 1st. May 1st into May 2nd. You know what I mean? It's still the same thing. It's still 40 days. Or April 30th. April 30th and then midnight into the 1st. Who knows? Whatever. It's 40 days. Let's take a look at April 7th. This is why I have to say this ahead of time, because I am getting silenced one way or another, whether I'm in jail for charges of reckless endangerment on Steve, because yeah, like his life is in danger. You know, when you have, you know, see, you gotta wonder, you gotta ask yourself this question. When someone has so much surveillance and they're in charge of like gang stalking lead, you just gotta ask yourself this question, you know. Don't say it, just imply it. You gotta ask yourself this question. If, you know, not saying that Steve is, but if someone is in charge of being a freaking gang stalker here in America, and Victor Lucifer, if they are that way, how can their life be in danger? Everybody else's life is in danger, right? But his life is in danger with God. His life, like the way he's living his life. Now I'm just here to tell you, Steve, you got to stop. That's all. You just got to stop doing what you're doing. You won't until God shows you what I'm telling you. Because you guys, I'm going to see what you guys are trying to show the world. And I'm going to see the sun go in the other direction, set down. And I'm going to see Osama bin Laden come back up and be that beast and the Antichrist. But it's really Trump. Trump's going to rise from the dead. He's going to start preaching. He's going to be the Messiah. But Steve is really the freaking puppet master, because it's really talking about him. You know what I'm saying?